Dawn at Cattana Wetlands. It's a restored site. Used to be a sugar cane farming spots anyway. We're near Cairns, Australia. Actually very close to it. This includes one of the last intact feather palm lowland tracks in the area. Welcome to the tropical north. Again, this was partly a monoculture at one point in time, and they've done a lot of work to rehabilitate those pieces and therefore try to get rid of some of the invasive species that exist. And they've done a pretty good job, actually. It is the southern hemisphere. It is winter, but we're closer to the equator here, so even though it is a bit chillier than it would be a little farther north and closer to the equator, daylight hours are not as different as they would be further south. You can hear the kookaburras in the background. This is the feather palm area. Lots of palms and fan palms that are right here and provide an important habitat in this area. I'm trying to be a little quiet, but you can see they grow all over the trees and add another layer. The more layers you have, productive layers like this, bringing in sunlight and energy for other organisms, then the more organisms you can have and sustain, higher the biodiversity will be. So you can hear the lorikeets, which are parrots behind me. But these are the feather palms that we've been talking about. And in this area, there used to be tons of feather palms, and then they had cairns. So urban development, there used to be cassowaries who walked around here, not really anymore. A little further north, absolutely. But they are able to tolerate wet soils with low oxygen levels, and they can help with flooding and withstand flooding. And this was one of the main reasons that this wetlands was even created. Now, again, not a very common, used to be very common habitat type. The other thing that's around here that I haven't really seen from the boardwalk very well is a bunch of figs. And these fruit, if you're looking for animals, look for the fruit. But these fruit really do sustain a lot of life here, and we'll talk more about figs and Daintree because there's interesting things to talk about. We'll also talk more about palms and epiphytic plants, which I tend to talk about a lot, but really interesting stuff coming up in another video. But for today, feather palms near cairns in a lowland area. The forest is very dynamic. In the 90s, they had a whole bunch of paper bark that really came and colonized the area, and now what they're doing is taking over. They help stabilize the soil. They persist quite well and outcompete the other species. And actually, what's going to eventually happen here is you're getting a bunch of larger trees, well, actually fewer larger trees, less smaller trees. They take more space, take more resources, and they're doing quite well. They do work quite well with the animals that live here as well, so it's not, well, forests change. Like I said, it's dynamic. It's gonna happen. So as long as it doesn't become problematic for biodiversity in many ways, there's no way to avoid a truly changing forest. It will never be static. Wildlife corridors are important not only in fragmented urban landscapes, but also fragmented, more natural landscapes. Now, one of the reasons this is fragmented is because of development and that sugarcane farm that did exist here previously. But what they're doing is reconnecting them with these wildlife corridors that lets more animals be able to move safely, like sugar gliders and striped possums that live here, from the feather palm area to the area that we're at now, which is nothing like the feather palm area. If you take a look, it's more of a fragmented, kind of grown up, almost old field environment where it's a bit grassland and a bit small forest. And a lot of organisms like this kind of area too. But what they're doing with that is connecting an area of palm that exists somewhere around here, which I don't see, but probably back that direction, with the feather palms in the other section of this park.